Have you ever sat down to rest? No phone, no laptop, absolutely nothing on your agenda. But yet, instead of feeling relaxed, you feel kind of guilty, almost like you are doing something wrong. Like you should be up, doing something, checking things off your to do list, moving, handling business, right? That feeling has a name, and it's called the functional freeze response. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why your body does that, what it's costing your brain and your leadership, and the 3-step reset that you can start using today in order to change it. I'm Candace Ramsey, stress resiliency coach, consultant, ICF certified coach, licensed associate marriage and family therapist, and the founder of Mahogany Coaching and Consulting. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about the why. Because honestly, if you don't understand the why, nothing I say here today is going to stick. I want you to think about your nervous system like a thermostat. You set a thermostat to 72 degrees, and if the room gets a little bit warmer, the system in your home is going to adjust to cool it down. Or if the room gets a little bit too cool, the system is going to work and adjust to warm it up. The whole job is to find baseline and to stay there. Your nervous system does exactly the same thing. So, stressful events happen, cortisol spikes, your heart rate climbs, your body heats up into what's commonly called fight or flight. And then when the threat passes, your system is supposed to cool back down, right? It's supposed to come back to baseline, which we'll call regulate. Here's the problem for people like you, the leaders, the high achievers, the people carrying the teams and the families and all of the invisible weights that you carry. When you've been under sustained stress for months, and some of you may have even been under sustained stress for years, your internal thermostat often recalibrates. Your baseline shifts higher and higher until your body starts treating it like your baseline shifts higher and higher until your body starts treating activated as normal. So that guilt, the restlessness, that's your thermostat is kicking on and is trying to bring you back to the conditioned normal, which is your stress. Now, lots of you have heard of fight or flight, and that's two of the four sympathetic nervous system states, which we can totally dive into more in another video. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to teach you a little bit about polyvagal theory. In polyvagal theory, there are 3 states that your nervous system can be in at any given time. The first is the ventral vagal state, and this is when you're in a state of safety, connection, clarity. This is, pardon me, this is where your best strategic and relational leadership lives. The second state is sympathetic activation. This is fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. They all live in this state. This is where your heart rate is up, your body floods with cortisol, and your prefrontal cortex temporarily shuts down. Then there's the dorsal vagal state, and this is absolute shutdown. So when your body has been in sympathetic activation for too long and can't sustain it, it essentially crashes into conservation mode. This is a state where full burnout lives. So what does this mean for high achieving leaders like yourselves? Most of you spend time dipping and dabbing in constant stress, And you're often toggling between sympathetic and dorsal vagal all day long, in and out, pushing hard, crashing hard, but never really reaching that ventral vagal state where rest and high level leadership lives. And that right there is the functional freeze that I spoke about at the beginning of this video. That's the broken thermostat. Now, I don't want this to be so scientific that it bores you, but I do need to add in some scientific context because it's important, especially with so much internet noise out there. When your cortisol levels stay elevated, your body's central command center keeps firing without being able to reset. Researchers call this allostatic load, and that's the cumulative wear and tear of stress on your body. Now, let me get to what you came here for. What exactly can you do about it? First, let me tell you that most of the things that you've been trying don't stick because, one, they're either surface level or they only hit one of the domains of what we need to be healthy and with a balanced nervous system. What I teach my clients is called mindful self-awareness, which states that your well-being lives in three domains. You have the mental and emotional domain, you have the physical body and the nervous system domain, and you have the spirit and sense of purpose domain. I want you all to think about it like a three-legged stool. So many of us have a three-legged stool in our house, in our kitchen, in our garage somewhere, right? If one of the legs of this stool is broken or missing, the entire structure collapses. It will not stand up. A three-legged stool will not stand up with only two legs. So when you can't relax, or if you feel guilty for relaxing, one or more of your legs is off balance. Now, here's what you can do to down-regulate so you can relax. It's called ground, extend, notice. In my root leadership method, this lives inside the first phase, the R, which is regulate, because no amount of pattern recognition, energy optimization, or embodied leadership is accessible to you when your nervous system is chronically dysregulated. Now, regulation is not the whole process, but it is the foundation. Step one, ground. There are a ton of ways that I can teach you to ground. But for today's purpose, I simply want you to put both of your feet firmly on the floor. And you can do this outside if the weather is warm. Doing it outside is often better because not only are you grounding internally, but you're grounding with the earth as well. And I want you to feel your body weight settle into your feet. Now, why does this work? By deliberately directing your attention to the sensations in your feet, you're sending a signal to your brain to be in the present moment, not ruminating on anxious thoughts or stress-inducing thoughts. This signal begins pulling the thermostat down from mobilized and braced, waiting for the next thing, toward feeling present and safe. Step two is extend. Now, breathing is one of the most impactful things that you can do, not only for your nervous system, but stress resilience and stress management in general. So for the extend phase, I want you to extend your breath. I want you to breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, and then out also through your nose for a count of 7. This extension ratio matters because your heart naturally raises significantly, or not significantly. Your heart rate slightly increases on the inhale and it naturally decreases on the exhale. The difference between box breathing and extended exhale breathing is instead of increasing your heart rate and then decreasing it back to where it was, you're actually slowing your heart rate more than the slight increase when you started. Now, step 3 And the final step in this particular exercise is to notice. Pay attention to what's happening for you as you ground and extend. Did your shoulders drop down? Did your jaw unclench? Did anything in your chest soften? Or did your body absolutely resist all of it? Did it feel quietly uncomfortable? Both responses are important here. If something was felt, that was your body saying, I remember this feeling. I've been waiting for this. And on the other side, if your body resisted, that's just as valuable because it means recalibration is deep. And you need more than just a quick 60-second nervous system reset to trust that stillness is safe. That data is often even more valuable because your body is showing you exactly where the work is. Ground, extend, notice. 3 steps is the entry point. It's not the whole journey. And I go much, much deeper with my clients over our 90 days together. But this is the door, my friends. And what's behind this door is quick regulation that you can carry into your leadership, your relationships, and your decision making. Now, one more thing, connecting this directly to how you show up as a leader. In emotional intelligence, and I use EQ with every single one of my clients, there's a competency that's called emotional self-awareness. And that's your ability to recognize what you're feeling in real time and understanding why. Now, when your thermostat is stuck, self-awareness narrows and you lose the real ability to tell the difference between this actually needs me and my attention, and my stress response system is activated because that's all it knows how to do. So because you can't tell the difference, and most of the time you'll go into a stress response, you tend to micromanage, you snap at people, and you feel guilty sitting still when you should be relaxing. The high EQ move is learning to ask yourself, is this real urgency or is this my stress? And that question reveals a lot. But you can't access it when your body is stuck in between 2 survival states. You must regulate first, always. Now, let's recap what you learned today. But before we do, if you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe so you can see every time I post new content. And to recap, we learned why you feel guilty when you rest. It's your nervous system's thermostat that has been recalibrated under years of chronic stress, and now your body treats stillness as a threat and activation as normal. You also learned what it's costing you. Chronic cortisol is simplifying your prefrontal cortex through allostatic load. And then you learned what to do about it. Ground, extend, notice. Feet on the floor, exhale longer than your inhale, and observe what shifts. That's the entry point to nervous system regulation. If you've watched this and you've been thinking to yourself, my thermostat has been broken for a while, there's a link in the description to book a free 30-minute stress resilience strategy session with me. You, my friend, have been bigger than every challenge that comes your way. It's time your body got the message. I'm Candace. This is Mahogany. I'll see you in the next one.